Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 16 of the second place timeline. And thus, we have a four-way race, baby. Now, essentially what came to be this four-way race was that the Republican and Democrat primaries, I guess you could say, or conventions, caucuses, whatever you want to call it, from back in the day, had really two major candidates. For the Republican side, we had President Frelinghuysen and former President John Tyler. Those two, John Tyler once supported Frelinghuysen, and now he flip-flopped and says, he's not a good president. I'm running against him. I'm running again for a second term. Or a first full term, I guess you could say. In the Democrat side, we had Levi Woodbury and Martin Van Buren. Levi Woodbury being a former Associate Justice, and Martin Van Buren being a former governor of New York. So, yes. So, John Tyler, brought back the Democratic-Republican Party. He's running on a message of, there shouldn't be two parties. There should only be one unifying body, etc. Martin Van Buren has his Free Soil Party. And Van Buren and John Tyler essentially have the same running mate as he accepted both of their offers, was Charles F. Adams, son of former presidents John Adams and John Quincy Adams. So he was hoping he can get the vice president, hopefully the presidency. So we have a four-way race, vote splitting happening on both sides, so it still could be a contested race. So let's just start filling out some safe states. I think, for, most of these northern states, they'll be safe, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey. Delaware and Maryland will be safe in this case. Which, hey, the North just gives him enough delegates, so just because of the vote splitting, I think, New York ain't safe, so he still has a long way to go. And when it comes to safe states in the South, South Carolina will be safe no matter what. So there you go, South Carolina is safe for the Democrats, for Levi Woodbury. Okay, and going on to the next states, some likely Republican states, New York is going to be likely. Martin Van Buren, very popular in this state, but I don't see him being able to win because third parties don't usually do all that well. Especially when there's two major third parties with Van Buren and Tyler. So he wouldn't pick off. Frelinghuysen would win New York by 6 to 7 percentage points. And that's the only state he'd win by a likely margin. Now, states Woodbury would win by a likely margin. There's quite a few, because, you would think, Van Buren is going to be taking votes away from Woodbury. No, it's actually John Tyler. Essentially, this is a three-way vote splitting, because, Tyler doesn't have the right-winged base behind him. He has more of a leftward base behind him, so he's taking away votes, which is why South Carolina is the only safe state. So the Deep South, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, all those states will go in the likely category. Some lean Republican states, I could definitely see North Carolina and Florida. Those two states would go lean Republican. On a normal day, I guarantee you that North Carolina and Florida would go to Woodbury. Probably not Florida, because it usually goes to the incumbent, and I am keeping that in this timeline because I'm a lazy fuck. So, yeah. Lean blue states, I have Texas and Georgia. I have those two states going blue in this. This is Texas voted red last time, and Woodbury flipped it. It's a nice, juicy 4 electoral votes. That gives us two states, Missouri and Virginia, both of which I have going to the Republicans and Frelinghuysen. Now you might be asking, okay, Chaos, so since it was a 4 race, what if it was just Frelinghuysen and Woodbury? Well, watch this. There's the map if it was just Frelinghuysen and Davis. Or Frelinghuysen and Woodbury, but that's not the final map. The map before was the final map. Let's go on to what happens during the second term of Theodore Frelinghuysen. Now let's go and take a look at Theodore Frelinghuysen's second term. Again, Frelinghuysen has not had a very eventful presidency. You either liked him or you hated him. If I had to give him an approval rating during his first term, it'd probably be around 48 to 51%. Essentially enough to be reelected, I guess you could say. In 1949, nothing really changes this time around. 1849, the U.S. Department of the Interior is still established. The Coinage Act of 1849 is passed. That stays the same. California would be admitted to the Union. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 is passed. Frelinghuysen was in favor of that. he supported the Fugitive Slave Act, so there's that, which makes him very more and more unpopular with Republicans. 1851 and in 1852, there's nothing really of noteworthy to specify. So yes, another very uneventful term. Frelinghuysen would run for a third term in 1852. But anyway, guys, this is the Chaotic One saying peace.